Hi everyone, so thanks for joining me on Absolutely Mods. This is the channel's first video and I'm extremely excited to share it with you all. You may have read the channel description and know that when it comes to understanding and building PCs, I'm a complete rookie. You will notice a keynote playing in the background with some screenshots, and I'll get to that in a moment, but just to let you know, there's some other parts that are going to go into my build. To begin with, Absolutely Mods will comprise of two main concepts: the building of an extremely high-end custom water-cooled system, and then a review of absolutely every part once it arrives on my doorstep. I don't plan on doing the typical YouTube unboxing where I explain how lovely the packaging is and how much the designer spent on it and so on. I just want to go over the component, what it does, and finally how and why I've chosen to include it in my build. That's pretty much it. More about the build in a moment, but I think it's only fitting that I'll let you know a little bit about myself. So like so many of you, I assume, I've been surfing YouTube and the net for longer than I can remember. I found myself returning time and time again to computers, PC builds, and in particular the high-end ones that involve, well, a certain amount of experience, knowledge, and of course cash. After watching so many brilliant designers and PC builders in action, on YouTube especially, I became somewhat interested and curious as to the possibility of my building my own Godzilla. Yeah, right, no chance, and hell no, the first words that came into mind. But I wasn't about to let this stop me. Everyone that knows me knows that once I get an idea in my head, I will take it to the fullest of extremes, every time, unless of course it really is above and beyond my realm of understanding or capability. So after 6 or so months of investigating and researching, I decided that this was one project that I would take on, 100%. I honestly work full time, I run a small business, and the channel is clearly not a full-time gig for me. I'm in my early 30s, I'm married, and I've got a beautiful 8-month-old baby boy, and I live in Eastern Australia. My knowledge of computers is basically thanks to the 3 Macs that I own, and I thought that I'd touch on this point now. I hope to not only teach myself a thing or two about custom PC building, water cooling, and so on, but hope to encourage and even inspire some of you out there like me who have dared to dream about custom, medium, high, or budget grade PC building. By the way, I've got absolutely no video editing experience, neither electronic experience either. So I think it's going to be fair to say that I'll probably be asking you guys for advice and even help from time to time. So enough about myself, and now I want to talk about why I'm really here, the build. Essentially, the build log itself will be the last part of God knows how many log entries. I'm going to go all out this time, no expenses spared, and completely custom water cooled. Although I've got no concrete plan, I do have a rough plan in my head. I'll be providing you today with an extremely basic and initial parts list. And unless they have been already purchased, they are subject to change. I mean, if you guys have got any better suggestions that will successfully work with the config, I'm totally open to this throughout the build. It will also consist of a combination of consumer and workstation grade components, Socket 2011, a custom water cooling system, topped off with a K-Slabs Magnum STH10, massive radiators, quiet fans, and heaps of storage, power, and compatibility. At this point, I haven't really thought of a name for the computer, but in the coming weeks, I'll ask for your suggestions on the name, as I'm going to leave it completely up to you. As long as it reflects the build itself, I'm happy. Now finally, before the parts list, you may remember my mentioning my knowledge of PCs being thanks to the 3 Macs that I own. Now I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but seeing as though I'm building this PC primarily as a workstation, I figured why not make it a Hackintosh. This may or may not make some of you happy. Since I'm not a gamer, quite the opposite actually, I figured that a Hackintosh would be perfect. Dual boot with Windows 8 may be included, but I figured let's get it running first. My parts list may be somewhat limited, as I will need to keep the Mac compatibility thing constantly in consideration. Over the last few minutes, you have seen some of the proposed components for this build. It's nowhere near finished as you can see, but this is what I've got so far. If you saw any parts that don't seem so great, let me know by posting any suggestions. Now we'll go through the list that I have so far. So the system. I've got a Corsair power system, an AX1200i. I've got the Core i7 4960K Extreme Edition. I've gone with the Asus P9X 79 workstation. I've gone with 64 gigs of Dominator Platinum Series RAM, either 2133 or 2400. I've gone with 4 840 Series Pro 250 gig SSD hard drives that I'll be running in a RAID array, as well as 4 terabyte WD Red HD drives. I've also gone with, for the massive amount of fans, I've gone with the Aquero 6 fan and cooling controller, and all of this will be going into the Case Labs Magnum STH10. Now, this may change depending on radiators and things like that, and I may even be going with a double front case from Case Labs. So when it comes to quarter cooling, I've gone with the Coolants PMP 450 Vario. It's just another D5 rebadged pump, 2 of those, a D5 mod kit from Bits Power, 2 of those, and a D5 dual mod top, all from Bits Power, along with an upgrade 250mm reservoir, and all of the fittings in the build will be black sparkle by Bits Power. So it's pretty clear that most of the components in the water cooling system will be Bits Power. Now look, as I've said before, the parts list is nowhere near complete. So things like rads, fans, lighting, custom cabling, etc. are still to be decided. So I hope you've enjoyed Absolutely Mod's first video. I'll be doing a review extremely soon on the first part to arrive. I believe it will be the Bits Power 655 pump kit. So stay tuned for plenty more. Be sure to like this video and subscribe if you want to. And remember guys, I need all the advice I can get on this. So until next time, see you soon.